Hello, guys. Sorry I am late. Just hopping off of another interview, so it ran a little over. So I apologize for my tardiness. So it is Wisdom Wednesday once again. Um, so glad you guys are able to join. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let a few folks join. All right, I think we're good to go. So it's Wisdom Wednesday, guys, and tonight I'm going to be discussing the customer journey, the loyalty and advocacy stages. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions into the chat so that I can see them as I'm going through the live, and I can answer them. Or if you have any questions throughout, just go ahead and drop them in, and then we can talk about them. So, last week we talked about the customer journey, specifically the consideration and conversion stages. But I want to just give a quick recap, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, for those not familiar with the customer journey or the buyer's journey, it's the process by which a customer interacts with the business to achieve some goal. In most cases, we want that to be sales and repeat sales, right? So the steps of the customer journey are awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty, and advocacy. I'm passionate about the customer journey because in your brand, it's what builds a sustainable business. Sales will bring you quick money, cash injections, but loyalty will definitely bring you sustainability. So when we're thinking about brand awareness or brand awareness, this is where your potential client, they're researching options, they're looking for a business that can solve their problem. They may be searching the internet, social media, going to conferences, looking on websites. And then, after they become aware of your brand, that's when they move to the consideration stage, right? So they are considering doing business with you. They may be doing some price comparisons. They're checking you out. It kind of resonates what you're saying with them. So they want to read your reviews, check out your competitors. Maybe they're learning more about the details of your product or service to see if, in fact, you could be the one that they've been looking for, right? So here's where, they might be asking you some questions. Maybe you're conducting a needs assessment. This is where your discovery calls would take place. It really is helping you to kind of continue to build that know, like, and trust factor. Maybe they're requesting proposals from you. And this is where you really are showcasing why someone should do business with you. And you're also most likely, hi there, also likely overturning objections, right? I think that's Erica. Hey, Erica. Um, so, once you move the customer to the conversion phase, so like after you've overturned all the objections, right? And they said, okay, yes, we're going to do business. You're collecting payments, you're signing contracts, you're getting people on board into your program, and then you're getting them acclimated into your community. This is where you want the process to be seamless and consistent, so that's not a headache for you. And next is where we get to the loyalty and advocacy stage, which is what I really want to focus on this evening and tell you guys why it's important. This is where the real aspect of community starts to form. So you've built that know, like, and trust factor. You've helped them achieve hopefully some sort of transformation. So they are coming to you repeatedly to help solve their problem. You have officially become their go-to person, right? Maybe even as a resource. So, and what I mean by that is, like, they may even begin to ask you questions that you don't even really help with, right? Because they respect your opinion so much. And so that's where a strong referral network actually would come into place. Doesn't mean you start doing the thing necessarily that they're asking for. So, like, if let's say you're a dentist and they're asking you about where they can go get an oil change, doesn't mean you start doing oil changes as a dentist. I know it's an extreme example, but that is an example, right? You seem to be a wise person that makes great decisions that can help them get to where they need to be, right? So that's the loyalty piece of things. And then advocacy, This is where your clients really are selling your services for you. You have brand ambassadors without even asking for brand ambassadors. They're championing your message, what you do from the rooftops, because you've helped them achieve exactly what they were looking for, and then also overly so, right? So this is really how you build a sustainable business. I will take loyal, happy, repeat customers over just a quick buck any day. So if you're just creating and selling stuff like that has nothing to do with the problem that you truly solve, you will have people that are not your ideal client consistently within your ecosystem, and then not purchasing the services and products that you really want them to purchase, because guess what? They aren't your ideal client, right? So the reason why I'm focusing on the customer journey so much is because you really have to map it out to understand for yourself your ideal client and the best way to do business with you. And this also helps keep people a part of your brand community. Really understanding like where your ideal client hangs out, what their needs are, what their wants are, their habits will help you in trying to find them and also solve their problem. I think one of the mistakes that entrepreneurs make, especially when they first start, is really not having a clear and direct path for clients to follow when they're trying to work with them. It's kind of like, DM me here, or you got to do this thing, sign up for this list, get this product, which really has nothing to do with like what your main program is. I'll just, kind of like having all these disjointed pieces that don't really make any sense and don't go together. And so guess what? Your client's confused. They're like, can this person really even help me? Because like they're talking about lawn services, but then they're also talking about like doing my marketing, and then they also walk dogs. Listen, I'm not saying that you can't do all these things. I'm just saying that most likely all these people are probably not in the same target audience. That's probably 3 separate target audiences that you have there. So you have to kind of be aware of that and map out what the ultimate action is that you want people to take with you. Another mistake that I see people make is just they themselves are confused about the products and the services. Like, so if you don't know what it is that you're offering, you're trying to customize things like every single time, like you're like going to be confused on like what really you're trying to do and how they can do business with you, and consequently they're probably not going to stay with you, right? Because you don't have your program or whatever that offer is completely mapped out. So we got some comments here. Let me see. Let's see. Hi, thanks for tuning in. So I can't see your name, but I think at least one person's Erica, I believe. Just 100% agree with all this. When I branched out on my own, I had people reach out to me that were my clients at previous firms. They wanted to switch to me in my own business I was launching because they already had a relationship with me and trusted me. Yeah, absolutely. And then another comment, there's a lane for everyone, as we say in my office, work together, but stay in your lane. Yes, for sure. Stay in your lane, guys. So if you know for a fact that you don't do something, don't try to like hurry up and create a product around that because people ask for it. It's something that you don't do. It's okay to refer people. That's why you build a referral network. I'll give you guys an example in my own business. Like people often ask me if I will, like, because I teach about social selling and social media, if I'll actually do their graphic design. No, no, I will not do it. But I do know people that will do it and that do a really great job. And so I can refer them to people who will definitely help them out and capture the essence of their brand in whatever graphics they're trying to create, whether it's for social media, whether it's for a media kit, what have you. I can refer people, but I'm not going to myself do that person's brand graphics. I can definitely give you suggestions. I can tell you based upon my expertise if it looks on brand, or if I think that like the colors don't necessarily match, or like the style elements that you're using don't necessarily match what your look and feel is or what you're portraying. I can tell you that, but I'm not going to create your graphics for you, if that makes sense. So that's what I mean by like making sure that you stick to what it is that you do best, right? So my zone of genius, helping entrepreneurs to build a profitable brand through strategies, systems, and marketing. Right? It's not to do the graphic design. So hopefully that's a tangible example that really makes sense. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and drop it into the chat. Another mistake that I see people make is they go for the loyalty aspect too early, or the advocacy aspect too early in their business. So it's like they're doing business, and this is real old school. Word of mouth definitely still works, but there's a certain point in your business where word of mouth takes over. It's not in the beginning. Like, sure, people can refer your business, but honestly, to have that be viral, it's not going to be within like the first few months of your business that people are constantly referring. You have to go out and get that business and speak to your ideal client, and then have them experience that transformation in order to have them be loyal customers and advocate for you. But like having like 10 customers and have them do word of mouth is kind of like, that's not enough reach to grow your business. People are like, yeah, I don't advertise, I just do word of mouth. It's kind of like, okay, sure. However, is it consistently bringing you new clients, which is what you really need to be able to grow your business. So I'm not against word of mouth. I just think that there's a certain stage that actually becomes really, really effective in your business. So I do think it's actually one of the best ways to get clientele is word of mouth, but it's just for me, and what I tell my clients too, is that it's just at a certain stage that it actually takes over for you, that it actually works for you to your advantage. Let's see. I'm not seeing any other questions. Is there any specific examples that you guys want me to take a look at live while we're on the live? Like, is anybody having trouble mapping out their customer journey? Do they feel like they're losing customers because of it? Not sure what their customer journey is. Having trouble identifying your target client? Any of those scenarios happening? Whether you're watching this now or later, you can definitely drop your questions in the chat, or you can feel free to DM me, and we can kind of walk through that scenario if need be. That's pretty much it, guys. We've gone through all the phases of the customer journey and why they are important. But I wanted to make sure to talk about, because, the loyalty and advocacy stages are definitely my favorite parts of the customer journey, because then that really is where you really see your brand community grow and shine, and it takes on a life of its own. And, it makes you really, as the business owner, feel good. People are talking about your product, saying how it's helped them, or service, how it's helped them, and they're sharing it with their friends and their families and their networks, and it really becomes bigger than you. So that's really when the loyalty and advocacy stages take over, and that word of mouth takes over. So hopefully that's been helpful, guys. As I said before, if you have any questions, whether you're watching this now or you're watching the replay, feel free to drop those questions in the chat or comments as well. Let me know if this has been helpful, and if there's any other things you'd like me to touch on. I'll definitely make sure I do that. Feel free to DM me personally at Crystal Vernay. You can also reach out to me via Simply She on Facebook at iSimplyShe, or on Instagram at I_simply_she. Let me see. I do have some announcements, guys. I've been putting them in the group, but my book project that I'm a part of, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, is going to be dropping on September the 21st. Make sure you go and get your copy. The name of my chapter is She Wasn't Afraid of the Fire, She Was the Fire. So super duper excited about it, to share, my journey to becoming an unstoppable woman, and also to be able to help other women as well. And the link to purchase the book is actually in my bio on Instagram. You can go to slayhardeveryday.co, and I'll put that also in the comments as well for those of you guys who are interested. Oh, that's a question. I see a question. How do you build your network for referrals? Okay. Well, your network for referrals comes from your existing customer base. So what type of business do you have? If you can let me know what type of business you have. I would say existing customer base and also partnerships as well. But if you can let me know what type of business, I can give you some ideas. Coaching. Okay, coaching business. What type of coaching? Notice what I'm doing. I'm niching down, guys. Niching down. What type of coaching business? Business, life, empowerment, fitness, spiritual. Empowerment. Okay, got it. Okay, so, well, I would definitely start out by saying you're going to have to, if you're looking for so if you're using the existing client base, is going to be, or existing client referral network is going to be from your existing clients. You have to have provided some type of transformation and or work with people so that they have built that know, like, and trust factor with you, so they feel comfortable to refer you to their friends, to their family, etc. Right? So that's one way, through your client base. The other way is to build partnership with like-minded businesses, not necessarily doing the same thing that you do, but that would complement your particular sector, right? So for empowerment coaching, depends. You might be able to link up with maybe someone who is a therapist, working with their clients. So let's say, they're in therapy, but the therapist feels like they would benefit from some type of working with some type of coach. But it also depends too on the actual niche, like what's the transformation that you're trying to provide. So like empowering people to do what exactly? Is it empowering people to gain confidence, live their best life? Is it financial empowerment? Like, is there another niche? Notice what I'm doing, guys. I'm niching down even further, right? To try and figure out like who would be the best referral partners. But as a coach, definitely building alliances with other like-minded people who may have services that may support yours. So like think about some of the types of industries that you might be able to, other entrepreneurs you can link up with, where it could be a one-to-one referral partnership. So like if you have clients that you're empowering them to, let's say, empowering them with their money mindset, right? So you've empowered them to change this is just an example, empower them to change their mindset around money. So now they have a positive mindset around money. They're interested in saving, interested in investing. They might want to work with a financial planner. So then, okay, I'm going to align myself with several financial planners, and vice versa. The financial planner may have some people who they work with, but their mindset around money is like they're too risk averse. Even though they want to invest, they have a mindset block around money, so they're risk averse. So they're sending that client to you to work on their money mindset, remove those blockers, and so you send them back, and now they can like make all these different changes with portfolios and do 60% stocks and I don't know 10% mutual funds. And does that make sense? I'm making sense with that. Hopefully that's like a tangible example of like a referral partner, and that's gonna come from like vetting people. It's okay, yeah. So it's like you don't just want to pick anybody, right? You do want people to be able to provide that transformation just like you're providing to your clients. So when you're thinking about building referral networks, especially with other business owners, it really is important to vet them and ensure that they know what they're talking about, because your reputation's on the line for referring that person. So like for me, if I'm going to refer somebody, I've like vetted their work. Either I've worked with them before, like myself personally, or I know clients that have worked with them, or like we're building up a a partnership, a chat. Maybe we're doing some type of a shared service to where I can test it out to make sure I feel like, okay, yes, this person knows what they're talking about, and I feel comfortable sharing my network with that person and vice versa. Yes, comment is having referral partners are so important to people who are already established and trusted in the area. Yes, I agree. I agree. Basically, show me your receipts. That's what I like to say. Show me your receipts. Like, what have you done? And not to be like, bougie or uppity, but it's kind of like you wouldn't refer like your mom or your best friend to somebody. Let's say, because like think about like a hairdresser, right? I'm very picky about who I let put hands in my hair. So I'm looking for my friends to tell me like of a place to go. And I really won't try anywhere else. Like I'm just so like, no, I've had a couple bad experiences. So like I'm looking for my friends to tell me like this person is okay. They'll do a good job. They've done my hair. So you want to like kind of have that type of relationship when you're building referral partnerships. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? But I think it'll be difficult to build referral partnerships if you don't know who it is that you work with, your target audience. If they're not nailed down, it's going to be hard because when people ask, who do you want me to send you? And you're having trouble telling them, it's going to be, you'll probably rarely ever get that referral because that person is not going to, it could be anybody. They're not going to send you all their clients. So it definitely behooves you to make sure you have your target market clearly identified so that you can explain to somebody else. And they can pass on the referral. Any other questions? All right, I don't see any. I don't see any. All right, guys. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I do go back over the lives and make sure I'm answering all the questions. Or if you want to DM me, please feel free to do that as well. Again, I'll drop my handles at Crystal Vernay on all handles. If you want to get me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, for Simply She, you can DM me on Facebook at iSimplyShe, and then on Instagram at I_simply_she. If you're interested in setting up a brand strategy session where we're going to go through up to 2 of your social media handles and just kind of help you streamline things for your brand and give you a strategy to help you obtain more clients quickly, you can set up a brand strategy session with me, and I'll drop the link to do that in the comment section of this live. So guys, that's all for today. I'll be back next Wednesday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And remember, you too can conquer if you slay hard every day. Take care.